has not even been a full week of Infinity Nikki and I am already obsessed, okay? I already knew I would be obsessed, but not to this like depth that I am. Like Infinity Nikki is really just giving me so much joy and things that I didn't realize I was missing in video games as a gamer who just so happens to be a girly pop. But Infinity Nikki is really giving me life right now. I just really want to talk more about how Infinity Nikki embraces girlhood and how it just feels like a big evolution of all the girl games of yesteryears past. Like this is the moment it has been leading up to. And I know it sounds like I'm putting a lot of like pressure on Infinity Nikki, but I think Infinity Nikki is able to hold up to this pressure, okay you guys? I have done a video in the past about the future of girl gaming. If you want to take a look at it, I did mention Infinity Nikki in it as well, and I'm just happy that past Delaney, I had my finger on the pulse, y'all. I had my finger on the pulse and I'm right. I was right, okay? But anyway, before I get started, my name is Delaney. I love talking about video games and I'm over here chilling in this corner of the internet. If you want to hang out over here, like and subscribe. Also, thank you so much to the channel members supporting the channel as well. And let's get started. So yes, Infinity Nikki has released. And if you are unaware of Infinity Nikki, you don't know anything about it, I'm going to give you a little premise before we get started into my rant about Infinity Nikki. So Infinity Nikki is a game where you play as the title character, Nikki, along with her best friend Momo. A magical dress whisks you away to a place called Maryland, where you are given this power by this mysterious woman who grants you this gift to be able to make clothing that give you abilities to navigate Maryland. So Nikki is trying to discover the mystery of Maryland, pretty much the premise of Infinity Nikki, and dress up is your power, and that's pretty much all you need to know. So yeah, I want to just talk more about the impacts of Infinity Nikki so far, like with its release, especially when it comes to femininity and girlhood and just how it embraces those things. So I have been playing Infinity Nikki. Literally, I've been hyperfixated on Infinity Nikki, and as I've been playing, I've been like, this just gives me like so much nostalgia for games that I played. Like it makes me think a lot about like Barbie games, or I've recently playing Nancy Drew as well, and just like those games that emphasize and are marketed towards girls specifically, and just like how important they are, you know? Like I feel like every girly or femme person who has grown up in this world knows that femininity is not exactly embraced. Femininity is usually put down as a weakness, traits of femininity. So like, you know, liking makeup, dressing up, fashion fashion, all of these things are put down growing up. I personally, I feel like I was in a medium between those things, because I was the girly pop, like I was the girl sewing clothes, like I was really into a lot of those things. But there were times for me growing up that I felt like, oh, is this really, like, you know, I would have tension, like if I watch like certain shows, like is this what girls are supposed to watch? Like I remember having arguments about watching Dragon Ball Z and boys being like, oh, why are you watching Dragon Ball Z? That's not for you. You know, like there is like a set line of like what is for a girly to watch. You know, like what is the thing that girls like to watch or things like that. But I also grew up on the Powerpuff Girls who can whoop butt. So we did have a lot of representation growing up, but I do feel like towards the mid 2000s, like past the 2010s, it's kind of like all of those things trickled away, and we haven't had like really a lot of like girly pop games. Like I've also talked about like games that we grew up with. Like I used to play a lot of Game Boy Advance girl games, so we had like Disney Princesses, you have like Barbie Princess and the Pauper, or even like Barbie Horse Adventure. You have all these games, but it's just like I always feel like when it comes to like embracing that femininity, it's always seen as like, oh, it's bad. Or like even there has been a review on Style Savvy that I would never let go of someone going, why did we need Style Savvy? Because I needed it. With the way that the video game industry has been, it has really just kind of been punching down on girl games and making it like, that game is bad, is shovelware because it's marketed towards girls, which is never how it should be. And I feel like with Infinity Nikki in particular and how it embraces girlhood and femininity, but also I feel like with Infinity Nikki, it's really making a change in the industry just based on how impactful it has been so far. Like as of right now of me filming this video, it has been announced that there have been 10 million downloads of Infinity Nikki across all the platforms that it's been on. It is a free-to-play game and it does have a gacha gacha system. But I will say that Infinity Nikki, the gacha system excluded, I really love how accessible it is, because like none of the gacha system is really linked to the gameplay. So it's like as of this moment, so you really don't really need to participate in the gacha system, and the game is very fully formed. Like honestly, shockingly, even for me, like I had so much hope in this game, but it's like really blown my expectations away just by the gameplay alone. The devs said they really wanted to create that feeling of joy in this game, and I think that they really captured it so well. What I love the most about Infinity Nikki is how it embraces that femininity, that girlhood. Nikki as a character, she's curious, she's adventurous, she is very kind-hearted, and she has like a lots of empathy for those around her. And I really just love Nikki as a character. She is just like the perfect like vessel. I really like enjoy just like discovering new things with her, and I feel like when it comes to like the gameplay, like the dress up alone and just even the physics and mechanics of the game are just so delightful. A lot of like women in gaming, like in video games, are highly sexualized. So it's no like secret about the sexualization of women in video games. You know, the jiggly physics when it comes to like certain video games. I feel like with Infinity Nikki, what they really embraced the most was the female gaze. And what I mean by that is just like when I look at clothing, I love to see the fall of the clothes. I love to see the details in the clothing, and I think they captured that essence so perfectly. And whenever I change Nikki's outfit, I'm looking at the details, I'm looking at the stitching, at the embroidery, and they made sure to make that the most standout thing. You can tell with this attention to detail, especially with certain ways that Nikki dresses. If you decide to climb on a bicycle, it intentionally tells you like, oh, Nikki's changing the outfit to be more easier to ride a bicycle in, or like things like that they've thought about. Just shows how much attention to detail they have with like making sure Nikki as a character is not being sexualized, which I really enjoy and adore, because it just really stands out from like a lot of the past video games in the video game industry. Other things that I really love is just like the main point of the game is to be a stylist, actually people who have a power or ability to sketch outfits that give you abilities that are able to help you navigate the world, and they are seen as a very revered in the land of Maryland. Fashion is power, y'all, okay? And that is why I love Nikki so much so far. In like the storyline and all the characters and how they interact is just another thing that I think is so important about Infinity Nikki, is that, you know, usually when it comes to games that are marketed to just women and girls, usually the male demographic who have like a lot of games, as we wrote, are usually like, no, that's not for me. But I've noticed a big uptick of both, of like this, like Infinity Nikki has managed to pull both markets, which is a feat, to be honest, for a game that is mostly marketed to women and girls. I've seen so many posts on Reddit, so many posts everywhere of men basically going like, oh, I'm playing this game even though I'm a man. Even though it does seem really condescending to me, I'm gonna be real, it's so condescending that it's like, oh yeah, your girly game is kind of good, I guess. That's what it feels like. But I will say that the fact that this Infinity Nikki has the power, the magic to pull for both demographics, I feel like it will show to the gaming industry as a whole that girl games sell. Girl games have a market. I'm really excited for the future of girl gaming just based on Infinity Nikki, and there also have been a few games that have released this year that have made me really excited as well. Like we have Barbie Dreamhouse Adventures, got a Totally Spies game. I'm just excited for the future of girl gaming. You guys let me know down below, have you been playing Infinity Nikki? What do you think of it so far? And I hope you guys have a wonderful day as always. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.